So this is not where Bubba's reporting an incident. This is where Bubba needs to come and request something from the service catalog. So you see this is the IT service catalog. So he could go in and say, well, I need access to certain services. So if he went in there and I don't have anything there, but let's say, for example, Bubba says, well, there's a couple things I'm going to do while I'm logged in here. I'm going to, I need a new tablet. So he's going to go to hardware, tablets are hardware, and then we have mobile, PC hardware, phone, network services, and server services. Well, he doesn't need to order a server, he needs a tablet. So that would be under mobile. And it says right here this includes laptops, mobile phones, and tablet computers. Okay, that looks like where he wants to go. So double click, and it brings him into two more icons. So there's a new tablet and a new mobile phone. Well, he wants to order a tablet. He reads this. He said, okay, well, that's probably what I want. Let me dig into it. And he double clicks it. And it comes up and it tells him that this is, I could have a lot more verbiage here, but it tells him wants to order a tablet. This is it. It says he can request a tablet. His options include an iPad, Windows 8 or Android, and sizes include 7 or 10 inches. And he said, yeah, that's what I want to do. So he clicks the request service button. You notice as he does this, he gets new tabs across here because this is very tab-centric. So now he's in a service request, so he needs to fill out the service request information. But guess what? It's been pre-populated for him. It already says the short description is a new tablet PC. It shows down here in the description that he needs to request the type of tablet. Now, I could have a lot of fields, and he can do drop-down fields, but I tried to make this very simple, so he's just going to edit this. So he's going to simply say the type of tablet is an Android, and he's going to say he wants a 10-inch screen size. All right, that's all he needs to do at this point. And it says down here his contact information will be automatically appear once this is submitted. He's going to go ahead and go to Save and Close and click that. And this goes back to the previous one we were looking at. This is where he selected this icon. And so if we go back and look over here, there's a brand new service request showed up, service request 1 for a new tablet PC. So it's sitting out there as a request for somebody to fulfill that request. While he's here, he said, well, there's a couple other things I want to do. I'm having problems with the VPN getting into the corporate network, so let me see if I can find a solution. So we have a knowledge base browser, so we're going to go look for an article that may help him with, figuring out what's wrong. He's going to try to figure it out himself because Bubba thinks he's pretty technical. So here's the different areas where we have knowledge-based solutions. Well, since VPN, Virtual Private Network, as you know, is a network, let's look at network. So we go there, and here we have network printers, VPN, and Wi-Fi access points articles. So he says, well, let's take a look at what we have under VPN. Well, there's 2 articles. How do I connect to the VPN, and how do I reconnect my VPN session? Well, that looks like that's what he wants, so he clicks on that, how to reconnect. And here's a knowledge-based article that tells him how to reconnect. Basically, there's steps in here, and this could be a lot more long-winded than we have. And he said, okay, well, that's what I want, and maybe he can go out and try that. So he's now, and by the way, these articles could be, as I mentioned earlier on the slide, procedures or maybe processes that you as a tribe has that has nothing to do with IT. So you can set up any knowledge base, any number of knowledge bases for specific types of applications. It doesn't have to be an IT knowledge article type of article. All right, so the next thing he wants to do is he wants to submit, he's trying to print something earlier and he couldn't get it to print. So he said, well, let me submit an issue on the printer problem that I've got. So instead of using one of these tabs, this is a list by the way, of the incidents and service requests that he's got. We put a button up here, and you can have as many buttons as you want or need because, again, all of this is completely customizable. So we put a new incident. So he said, okay, I'll click the new incident. That opens up a brand new incident here, and I've got a browser cache problem. So in any case, he says, well, I just need to fill this out, so we're going to use a template. So I've got a printer issue template. I could have as many templates as I need. He's going to select that, and that automatically put in the short description of printer issue and issue of printer cannot print. And by the way, he can say specifically what printer it is. It's the and maybe it's a certain type of printer. Now, again, I could have lots of fields, but we tried to make this very simple to fill out for the customer. There's tabs over here, so he can either scroll down to get to the contact information, or he can just click the contact, and it will scroll down to the contact information. Now, in this case, we've set it up so he doesn't have to fill in anything. Once he submits it, it should automatically populate his contact information. However, we have an alternate contact, and if he wanted to, he could put in an alternate phone number or alternate email rather than what we have in the database for him, and then he could say how he wants to be contacted, whether by email, mobile phone, or work phone. He's just going to let it default to the main stuff, and so at this point he can do save and close, and that closed the window, and now we see incident number 10013, printer issue is out there for somebody to resolve. And you know what? Let's see. I think that's all I was going to have him do. So let's. Oh, one more thing. I almost forgot about this. You notice there's a subscribe here. Well, that means that we've got a global issue. So he's got something that's affecting multiple people. So you notice it's not assigned to him. The others didn't get assigned to him yet. They should have. But this one's not assigned to him. And so he says, well, let's take a look at that. Let's go in and view that global issue. And we could put an icon on there or make it a special color so it would stand out. And so what we've got here is we've got a global issue that says slow performance on the Florida network circuits. Well, Bubba lives here in Florida where I live. So he says that experiencing slow network performance of 20 to 30 seconds since Tuesday evening. He says, well, yeah, I'm experiencing that. So he can subscribe to that. So there's a subscribe button. So simply click subscribe, and he'll close this window, and he'll go back, and we'll refresh this, and we should have, there he's got, so Bubba's got a brand new incident number 10014. It is actually linked to 10009. And I can prove that. I can actually, you can go into either one of these. And, oh, I'm sorry, Bubba can't do this. So at this point, let me jump over to another browser where I have the agent standing by. All right, so remember I said there's two types of users. And those of you using Trackit know that y'all have technicians and I guess customers and technicians. Well, it's basically the same thing here. We've got customers and agents. So I've now jumped over to Chrome, where I'm logged in as myself, Brian Stacy, as an agent in the system. I'm at my home page. I have a list of issues here. I also have a dashboard. Now, I put the dashboard at the bottom, so it can be at the top, the bottom, the left, the right, wherever you want to put it, and you can put whatever items on here you want. I actually see that I have some global incidents that have shown up here. I've got a chart showing basically tickets by quarter. I've got a blog. It happens to be the BMC FootPrints community, and another one called IT Skeptic. Well, I don't want to look at those right now, so I'm going to force that down, and I'll just take a look at all the incidents that are out here. Now, I could limit this to just what's assigned to me, or I can say what's going on. I want to sort this in lots of different ways. Right now, I think Bubba submitted a couple things we need to take a look at. Matter of fact, let me real quick refresh, make sure I get all those new ones on the list. There they are. Here's the 3 new ones. One is a new tablet PC. It's a service request. Well, you know what? First thing I can do is I've got a printer request. I can probably resolve that really quickly. So let me go into that printer issue. And so now I'm editing that issue, and it did not put in Bubba's name, so that's okay for the demonstration. I kind of wanted to do this anyway. So I'll put in Bubba. I'll say a link to the address book, and it went out and it found, and let me move this out of the way for a second. It found, close that. Bear with me 1 second. All right, I shouldn't have moved that around. All right, so I'm looking at this. I'm going to have to do Bubba again, sorry. I could have put in Smith. By the way, let me do that. So I'll do Smith. I'll say link to my contacts in my address book. I actually have a number of people with the last name Smith. There's Bubba, so I'm going to choose Bubba, and I'm going to link him to this ticket. Again, that could automatically be done. Now, I have this integrated with BMC's Client Manager, and so the Client Manager has its own database. It's a discovery tool, so it's doing discovery on PCs and servers and networking equipment and all kinds of things. And so it took Bubba's user ID, and it went out there and says, and his user ID happens to be user, and said, where do we have user in any records? So it found 12 hits, 12 records. Well, guess what? One of these is a workstation that actually belongs to Bubba right here. So I'm going to select this Windows 7 003 machine. I'm going to select that. And that, if I go down to another tab, Assets tab, that has actually put Bubba's computer into this ticket. And just to show you, I can scroll up and I can show you where I was a minute ago. So here's Bubba's information. Here's the details. And the details came over because Bubba, remember, used a template and it stuck in all these details. It even showed that it was a network printer issue. So back down to Bubba's PC, so I can look at that and I said, well, maybe let me just first verify that Bubba has the right drivers. So I can click on that, and it shows me a little bit of information about Bubba's PC. And then I can go and I can say, well, let's do some action. So I could actually remote control to Bubba's machine using BMC's Client Manager, what we call BCM. Or I can say, let's view more details. Or I could say, show me the file systems or the registry or events or processes and a number of other things. I can even ping, reboot, and shut down Bubba's desktop if I wanted to. I'm just going to say View Details, so it's going to pop up another tab. In this tab, I can say, well, here's Bubba's PC, here's the software, the hardware specs for it, and I can see everything about it. I could go to the software, and if I wanted to, I could scroll down and make sure he has maybe a client that will work with that printer or maybe even the drivers. Now, I'm not going to go through all the software because there's 6 pages of software. In any case, let's assume that I've figured out what he needs to do, or maybe I didn't. So let's close this, and I'm back over here with Bubba. I'm actually going to go to the details. We looked at the details. This has already been filled in for us.